Beloved Seventh-day Adventist Church, this is a very urgent message called A Call to Country Living Part 2. A Call to Country Living Part 2. It states, I could not sleep past 2 o'clock this morning. During the night season I was in council. I was pleading with some families to avail themselves of God's appointed means and get away from the cities to save their children. Some were loitering, making no determined efforts. The angel of mercy hurried Lot and his wife and daughters by taking hold of their hands. Had Lot hastened as the Lord desired him to and his wife, would not have become a pillar of salt. Lot had too much of a lingering spirit. Let us not be like him. The same voice that warned Lot to leave Sodom bids us, come out from among them and be ye separate, and touch not the unclean. 2 Corinthians 6:17. Those who obey this warning will find a refuge. Let every man be wide awake for himself, and try to save his family. Let him gird himself for the work. God will reveal from point to point what to do next. Hear the voice of God through the Apostle Paul. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Philippians 2:12-13. Lot trod the plain with unwilling and tardy steps. He had so long associated with evil workers that he could not see his peril until his wife stood on the plain, a pillar of salt forever. Let children no longer be exposed to temptations of the cities that are ripe for destruction. The Lord has sent us warning and counsel to get out of the cities. Then let us make no more investments in the cities. Fathers and mothers, how do you regard the souls of your children? Are you preparing for the members of your families for translation into the heavenly courts? Are you preparing them to become members of the royal family, children for the heavenly King? What shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Mark 8:36. How will ease, comfort, convenience compare with the value of the souls of your children? The refuge of country places. Let parents understand that the training of their children is an important work in saving souls. The country places abundant, useful exercise will be found in doing those things that need to be done, and which will give physical help by developing nerve and muscle. Out of the cities is my message for the education of our children. God gave to our parents the means of true education when he instructed them to till the soil and care for the garden home. After sin came in through disobedience to the Lord's requirements, the work to be done in cultivating the ground was greatly multiplied, for the earth, because of the curse, brought forth weeds and thistles. But the employment itself was not given because of sin. The great master himself blessed the work of tilling the soil. It is Satan's purpose to attract men and women to the cities, and to gain his object, he invents every kind of novelty and amusement, every kind of excitement, and the cities of the earth today are becoming as were the cities before the flood. Now, beloved in the Adventist Church, country living is the way to go in these last days because it builds character. It prepares us for the time of trouble, and so that we can be able to be living in a place where we can develop character, read our Bibles, have outpost centers in the country, grow fruits and vegetables, grow grains like bread and rice, can our fruits and vegetables in the city, in the country, live in an undistracted environment from worldly attractions like gambling, horse racing, strip clubs, nightclubs, all different type of amusements in the cities like amusement parks and malls. These things, when we live in the country, we're away from all these things. Our focus is simply on prayer, meditation, Bible study, devotion, growing fruits and vegetables for our livelihoods, and preparing to go into the city to do missionary work from outpost centers, and treating the sick in a home-like sanitarium out in the country and doing health talks. That's called an outpost center. Publishing books, selling Sister White books, publishing those books in the country, having a printing press in the country, having an outpost in the country, and going into the city to do mission work. Something like Moses Mason did and Marcus Mason in the country up there in Pulaski, Tennessee. Now they have an outpost center up there with families on that parcel of land out there. They have a food factory up there, a book publishing house up there. They have a studio where they produce sermons out there. That's the kind of work we need to do in these last days. We have to all have little outpost centers in the country preparatory to city life in these last days, and have Seventh-day Adventist families moving from the cities into these country retreats with each other, and holding all their goods and all their monies together in one pot, beloved, in the Adventist church, having everything in common for these last days. That's how we need to live in these last days so we can get ready for Christ's soon coming, beloved, in the Adventist church. That's the best way to go, beloved, in the Adventist church. It also protects us from being caught so much by being persecuted in the cities when the cops try to find us to put us to death, or the authorities try to put us to death and hail into our homes. A lot of labor unions and strikes will be in the cities. Utilities will be cut off in the homes, and trash and the garbage room will stop doing their job because they're going to have strikes. Hospitals are going to have strikes, so there's not going to be done any hospitals to treat the sick in the city that we come down with sick. The doctors are going to strike. The food people are going to strike, so that you can't buy food at the stores, the big convenience stores or the restaurants, beloved, in the Adventist church. In the country, you can treat the sick in a home sanitarium and do medical missionary work and do health talks in the country, beloved, in the Adventist church. That's why country living is so important. And not dwelling upon the riches we own in the cities like Lot's wife did. Lot's wife looked back and became a pillar of salt. That's why Christ told disciples, remember Lot's wife. And Lot's wife became a pillar of salt because she wanted to invest herself in worldly enterprises of the cities, beloved, in the Adventist church. Do not do that, beloved. Hold on to the present truth, the Bible, and the spirit of prophecy, and cultivate the art of living in the country for these last days. Growing your own food so you can provide for yourself, doing mission work in the cities, and finishing the work. Maranatha, God bless.